else? Mr. Bronson? Kathleen, you're probably. I guess he's got a minute, right?
It's your time, Judge.
All right, it's 1:30. This is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court. Before I get started, a couple things I want to address for these kids. So the law says when a child's arrested and brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. And the judge has to make a decision whether to detain you or to release you. Now, this is based on most of the police report that came in with you. And I'll get a report and I'll look at it and decide whether there's probable cause or not that you committed an offense. What that means is whether somebody can articulate, can somebody put into words a series of statements that, if they were true, would be a violation of our laws. If so, then I'll make a decision on whether it's appropriate to detain you or to release you. That decision is really based on things like whether you would be a danger to yourself if I was to release you, a danger to others, likely not to appear in court, if there's not adequate supervision in the home. Basically, these factors in the family code, and then I make that decision to release you. If I do, then it can be any kind of lawful or reasonable condition. If I decide to detain you, then that is going to be, you'll be here, and then you'll have a hearing every 10 days while you're here for me to decide whether to continue to detain you or if I'm going to release you. Now, I am certain there's information that you have that's important to your case. However, I want to remind you, this is not your trial. Nobody's finding you guilty today. This is simply about whether you're being detained or being released. Later on, you will have your day in court for a trial. At that point, your attorney can bring in any information that the attorney feels is appropriate for that particular court hearing. Now, today is not the day to blurt things out. All right. So if you have information, I advise you to tell your attorney this. You do have certain rights at this hearing. You have the right to remain silent. I can't force you to talk, to give me any information. In fact, I recommend that you use your right to remain silent. I'm not even going to ask you questions about the offense. Now, if you give up that right and you do say something, anything that you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. I do want to let you know you also have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will certainly provide one for you as required by our laws. Now, the parents that are here, this also goes for you. I'm certain you have information about your child, about the case itself that will be relevant. That is something, again, that you should tell your child's attorney so they can introduce it to the court when it is most appropriate. I do see people in here wearing masks. You are certainly welcome to wear a mask, but if you want to take it off, you're certainly welcome to take it off as well. That's purely at your discretion. No one will give you a hard time either way. All right, let's go ahead and start with the out of custody detention hearings. And this is, first we'll go with Peyton. Yes, Mr. Williams. Okay, Peyton, your attorney couldn't make it today, so we do have an attorney standing by. So it's McGonigal.
Thank you.
All right, so Peyton, you're currently on probation for a serious offense and for possession of a controlled substance. And you're 17 and a half. So now you were in substance abuse treatment after relapsing after 2 previous substance abuse residential centers for being unable to stay sober. Ms. Williams, what details about what drug use do we have?
In March 24th, Judge Jerry ordered the parental placement. She approved the parental placement at King's House in Austin. However, Peyton had an incident where they sent him to the psych hospital.
Okay, but what drugs are is he testing positive for?
He pretty much tested positive for pretty much everything. Fentanyl, ecstasy, marijuana, Molly, methamphetamine, acid, mushrooms.
So fentanyl, marijuana, methamphetamines, LSD, mushrooms, like everything but PCP. Any cocaine?
Yes.
And cocaine too. All right. So, all right. So you're provided chemical dependency counseling, orientation, individual counseling, family counseling, dependency education, mental health referral, educational service, life skills training, case management services. And you were discharged from Phoenix House. And when on readmission to Phoenix House, I guess there were concerns about self-harm. And so they're worried about relapse. Counselor tried to do a safety plan and would not commit to the safety plan. I'd say the only reason why it's there is to avoid an unsuccessful discharge. So we returned in June with some indication of health self-harm. And then said he didn't want to be readmitted. And Grandma told him if he doesn't go back, that he'll likely be arrested. And then he said, if I go to jail, you'll harm yourself. All right, I've only paid one time, had inappropriate contact with another peer. All right, so he's not following the parents' rules, not staying sober, continue to use drugs, now leaving court-ordered residential treatment, and decided to return home instead of finishing treatment. Ryan said substance abuse was a more pressing need, so we're gonna wait for other counseling until after drug treatment. Oh, there we go. THC, ecstasy, cocaine, opiates, acid, methamphetamine, mollies, Vibrant, Adderall, fentanyl, mushrooms. All right, well. So Peyton, the idea of probation is that you're telling me you're gonna do things right in order for you not to go to TJJD. I mean, that's the deal, right? Either you do what you're supposed to do, because if you can't do it, then that's when you have to go to TJJD. So it's really, you're asking me for the chance to not go, right? I'll let you ask a question in a minute. You're asking me for the chance to not go, but you're gonna follow the law and follow the terms of probation. I mean, that's the deal that we have. So if you're not holding up your end of the deal, that kind of gives me only a couple options.
Yeah.
One of them is just saying, forget about it, you're good, see you later. The other option is TJJD. Because you're the in-between right now. And I can tell you, option one isn't going to happen. Mr. Williams, did he complete SO counseling? No, but we put that off.
No,
Okay, that's fine. All right, so Peyton, you had a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's your question? Yes, please.
So I've been sober for like almost 7 months now.
Okay,
I haven't used it in a really long time, and I was just like asking you for a possibility that you get a chance to show y'all that I can really like stay sober. I know that's been my issue in the past, but working in 12 steps is really helping me.
okay, well, Mr. Williams, his last test that he failed was October of 2020. Have we tested him since then?
Yes, they just don't show within the last.
I can't hear you with him.
I said it just doesn't show within the last 90 days in the system, but he has, because you ordered actually the sweat patch.
Okay, and he's been clean while on the sweat patch?
Well, he took it off the last time, which is one of the reasons we brought it back in, and he did the rental place at Phoenix house.
Did we order a hair follicle?
We just did nail it.
Nailed it, and what did that come back as?
Positive as well.
Positive, so he was, so Peyton, you haven't been sober for 7 months?
No, that was before I went to Phoenix House. That was whenever I was still in Kimbo. That was last time. I'm talking about since I like went to Phoenix House and then got out, I've been 7 months clean. I haven't failed another drug test.
So when was, Mr. Williams, when was the nail bed test?
I want to say that was, February 4th.
Okay, find the date, because Peyton's either correct or not correct.
Well, it wouldn't be 7 months if you was just in there in March
Right.
24th, so.
Hold on, Peyton, we're gonna look this up.
Hands on.
Thank you. Apologize, Your Honor.
Oh, that's all right. Mr. Williams, I see January 28th of this year, that he was positive for THC, methamphetamine, amphetamine, according to JCMS.
You did the nail bed on 128.
Right, yeah, January 28th, nail bed.
And that was prior to the court detaining him. The court detained him at that point. He was in detention for about 30 days, no longer than 40 days.
Right.
And then he went to Phoenix House.
So Peyton, my problem right now is I'm running out of time. Okay, I mean, Mr. Williams is determined or indeterminate? Indeterminate. So I'm just running out of time on this one. And part of me says that you just burned the candle too low, that there's just not enough time. You know, I can't do, I'm kind of running out of options. But at the end of the day, Peyton, I want you to get treatment as a seed. That's literally all I want.
Yes.
I don't think I'm asking that much.
No, I agree.
So how do I know? Because because this is the decision point. How do I know that the right decision is not to send you to TJJD?
Because I can show y'all this, like, I don't belong there. Like, I have the ability to do right. It's just me being impulsive and making.
Right. So you're saying you have the ability to do it. You don't belong there, but it's like you're also telling me you don't belong at Phoenix House either.
No, sir, it's just, when I was there, like, towards the end of my stay, my mental health kind of snapped. And so I really, like, felt like killing myself. And so I got sent to the psych hospital. And when I was in there and they were adjusting my meds, they said, oh, I don't want to go back. Then when my grandma picked me up, I tried to go back and do it.
When was this?
Yeah, like last.
All right. So Ben, where are you at now?
I mean, I'm sober. We're in the process of moving, so we're staying with my aunt right now. I'm under complete supervision, never leave the house. Always have someone with me. Not on my phone. I'm continuing to stay sober. Trying to go to meetings.
Is this a registrable offense? Is it registration? Is that an issue on this one?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I think it's exposure, right? All right, baby, this is. Mr. Williams, did we test him today? Okay. Well, what is, I'm sorry.
If court orders a drug test, then you can test it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and put on pause, Mr. Williams. Let's get a drug test. Let me take this up at the end of the detention hearing and figure out. Okay. That may give us information that we need.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Dontrell. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, Dontrell. So you're 15. This all started when you were 10 years old. You had an intervention case here. Then you turned 12. You're arrested for unlawful restraint for serious bodily injury. Obvious. Then later on, you were 13 with a stolen car, engaged in organized crime. You got probation for the car. 3 months later, arrested for violating your probation. 5 months later, terroristic threat, which the DA dismissed. At this point, you're 14 or you're 13 and still arrested for another stolen car. But the DA supervisory cautioned that. 2 months later, arrested for evading arrest. The DA dismissed that. And unauthorized taking another car. All right, so he is currently still on probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lear.
It is set to expire on 7/15.
All right, so your probation ends next week. But on May 27th, Dunbar High resource officer called the police, said that on the 27th at about noon, he and a suspect, I'm guessing that's Dontrell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You and your sister had an argument sitting in her car. As she exited, you slammed the door. And
The
she,
victim's not the door.
the victim slammed the door. Okay. And the victim yelled at, wait, suspect 2, okay. Hold on a second.
Which is his sister. She got I'm not calling my brothers.
So as the victim was getting out, the victim slammed the door.
Yes, sir.
And then Dr. Trell's sister yelled that she's calling her brother. And And the victim said that a short time later, got a call from a witness who said that Dontrell was on campus looking for him, and that you were a virtual student and should not be on campus. Victim said that he discussed the incident with you, sister there with two witnesses. While they're talking, unknown black male approached a witness and began fighting. Victim said he turned, watched the fight, and then you punched him in the back of the head, and said that he turned to defend himself, and you pulled a gun and said, "I'm not gonna do no fighting." And then he raised his hands to back away. The fight stopped. You, with his sister and unknown black male, got to a small four-door car and left campus. Surveillance video showed that you appeared to keep your left hand near your waistband throughout the video. The weapon was not seen on video. So you went to Lake Granbury, came back from placement, been doing virtual school. Mr. Lemire is asking for you to be released while this case is waiting. We have a parent here?
Yes.
So I'm guessing during the day you were at work?
I was at work.
Please stand up.
I'm sorry. I was at work. I didn't find out, I didn't catch wind of it till like 3 days later when the principals and the counselors finally contacted me. And when I did catch wind of it, I told him the story. He was there, he told him the story, and there was no gun involved. And now that I'm hearing, he said that he was holding up his pants always sagging. Like my son don't have a gun. He doesn't do stuff like that. He's done some things he shouldn't have done in the past, but since he came home from that treatment center you sent him to, he just is a regular teenager. Like he was sticking up for Destiny, but he did not have a gun. And the kid hit him first. So that story is wrong. So when I talked to the principal, everything was fine.
Going up to school and starting to exchange words over an argument when he's not even supposed to be on campus, that's not regular teenage stuff.
Well, when he went up to the school, he told me that he went to see if Destiny was okay in the first place. He said this kid confronted him when he seen him in the parking lot and hit him first and the fight ensued. But he said he left after that. And I told him and then when I found out about it, after the principal and I talked, and he talked to the principal, I said he'll never be back on the campus again. He never went there again. And Dontrell hasn't done anything this whole time. He's supposed to be getting off next week. I assure you, he did not have a gun. They would have saw it on the thing. Like, he doesn't have a gun.
One more reason why not buy some baggy pants, right?
I even just heard his probation officer tell him not once, but twice already, come on, pull him up. Because they always found out. I even tell him all the time. He just holds his hand like this.
Yeah. All right, so Mr. Lemire, in the report, any of the witnesses identify the gun or just the victim?
According to the police report, the witnesses and the victim all state.
Yeah.
But there was never a gun found. And according to the police report, there was a gun seen, it was provided.
Well, we don't know how good the video is, right?
No.
The police report say anything about the video showing Dontrell hitting anybody?
No.
It just doesn't mention it.
Yes, definitely.
When's the last time we gave him a drug test?
I was planning on giving them today, but they got it right before the game.
Wait, so we've never given him a drug test?
I'm sure he's had one. It doesn't show in the 90 days. I didn't have Dontrell initially.
Right.
Only got him when she came back in place.
Okay. Victim, I guess, is juvenile also.
Yes, sir.
They all go to the same.
Do we
school.
have, does he have history with our department?
Not that I'm aware of.
You have the names? There should be a victim
Thanks for
name in
that.
there.
Thanks for that.
Let's just wait. Dr. L, I want to go ahead and take a break for now, get a UA, and then run a check on JCMS for the witnesses and the victim. And then let's see what, and then we'll take this up after the hearing.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge, I'm setting right now down.
Okay. Ms. McDonough will cover for you if you need to. I mean, I understand you want to be here. But this is one of those, based on what Mom is saying and what Mr. Lemire is saying, I don't take Mr. Lemire's recommendation for this very lightly, but I want to be comfortable with it too. So,
Are you team up at the end? What I'm saying, I can go down there and do that and come back. That's what they're.
yeah, we can do that. And if it turns out that it's, because it's a fairly short docket today, we've only got 4 more. So I mean, it's going to take, it won't take 10 minutes for Mr. Lemire to look at the run the names.
Okay.
I don't know, it may take more than 10 minutes for Dr. to pee. And that's the part that could slow it down. Can you pee right now? Yes?
I'll say, we'll call, I'll wait then.
Okay, I mean, we'll bump him up if we can get a sample right away.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Ascari. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Ascari, you have been here for 30 days, 15 years old. You are on probation with tampering with evidence and unlawfully carrying a weapon, firearm. Then fourth PD brought you in. They're saying on June 8th, about 1:30 in the morning, disturbance call. Met with a victim, said he was assaulted by his friend. Oh, this is the one. He got off work walking back, him having a friend that was homosexual to the fight. So. All right, and so you actually chased him into his home, allegedly, and assaulted him. Okay, let's look at your drug test. You're positive for marijuana. All right, so while you've been on probation with Mr. Mitchell, you've had curfew violations, suspended for school for refusing to participate in FPP, unsuccessful discharge from outpatient drug treatment. We had an administrative hearing. You did not complete your community service hours. And Phoenix House wants intensive outpatient for marijuana. Yeah. All right, we have a psychological schedule for August 3rd. Ascari, you cannot be on probation, skipping school, walk to the house, smoking weed, and pick up new charges. Ms. McGonigal, you have a thought?
No, I do. Recommendation is outpatient versus inpatient because that's what probation is hoping with the recommendation. Scurry is committed to physical treatment. I asked if the referral had been sent to a treatment provider for Scurry, and I didn't get a yes or no answer, so I'm not sure if I can say out.
The problem for me is I'm not sold on treatment for marijuana. Like that's nobody I've asked.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I've heard that argument, but I do think nothing that's put until late August because it's psychological. Allowing him to get out and he's participating in treatment is something to argue at the court next time. We were quite upset at one of the decisions here, you wanted to set quite fast. At that time, you were talking about commitment. So I would like him to get out and have a chance to go to an argument against commitment. That's still something that is on the table.
Ms. McGonigal, I think for most kids, I'd be okay with it, except the problem here is he's done nothing right on probation.
He completed about half of his community service hours, which I know is not the entire amount, but that is more than essential. And he's going to school at Can Academy. I think the way it's written in here, that says he's not going to school, he's not going to his home school, he is going to another school.
Because he got kicked out of his other one.
Well, that's true, but he is going to school at Can.
So Mom, you're
He
here?
didn't get kicked
Can you
out.
say that, please?
He didn't get kicked out of school. I just transferred him.
How many times did he get suspended for Wyatt?
A few times.
What's a few times?
Two.
For what?
I can't remember. I know one not going to class, getting into it. I don't know. I don't really remember it. And yeah, but he didn't get kicked
Well,
out.
hold on,
I just
Your
transferred.
son gets suspended from school and you don't remember why?
I don't remember. I mean, he's 15. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I mean, I have
exactly.
it wrote down. I don't remember.
Exactly, he's 15. Like, at 15, you're supposed to know why your son's being suspended. Like, getting suspended is a really big deal.
I mean, not going to class. So they put
Mr.
him.
Mitchell, is that the case? You don't go to class, then the school says you can't go to class?
The situation that happened with Scar, he did suspend him from not attending class,
Okay,
and they put him in the same class.
okay.
And what Scar would do was, in school, he'll manipulate to get out of the class. Not want to go have food, probably have want to go out to the cafeteria, get the school, come back to class, and stay out all day, doing whatever. So those are things that kept extending his suspension.
Okay.
So then we go back to the regular classroom, he would do something else, get them acting out of the classroom, he gets suspended again. But they got to the point where she was getting frustrated with him being suspended, that she took the can, the can in this situation.
He's only 15. Mom, let's go over this, all right? Started when he was 10 years old with an assault case. Then he turns 11, arrested for burglary of a vehicle. Then arrested, he was 14 with serious offenses. Then, while his case is pending, he gets arrested for stealing a car. 5 months later, case is still pending, stealing another car. Then a month, 3 weeks later, he gets arrested for tampering with evidence, which he placed on probation for, and evading arrest. And 5 months later, he's arrested for, so he's on probation, he gets arrested for evading arrest and unlawfully carrying a weapon, which gets added to his probation. So he's just estimating now he's looking at breaking into somebody's house to beat them up.
He didn't break in.
Well, that's what he's looking at.
Okay.
I mean, that's the charge, what he's charged with, so. And he's smoking weed. Yeah, I'm not, Ms. McGonigal, I'm not interested, because the next step, what Scary does is somebody gets shot or somebody gets killed. And so he's just escalated this along the way, and I think it's releasing him would just be a danger to our community. All right, thank you. Doesn't know what it is. I'll make sure my kid never forgot why they were suspended. Lena, oh no, we got Brett? Yeah. Okay, Lena, hold on a second. So Brett, I know you gotta go downtown. But not Trell. Mr. Lemire, you had a chance to look up the names?
Yes, John. None had history with the department, John.
All right, so none of history of the department. He tested clean just now.
There's okay, I have one thing, good. As far as probable cause is concerned with regard to the aggravated assault with deadly weapon, I'm gonna suggest a report that based upon what's in the offense report, at least the report given to the court by the probation officer, that there is no probable cause, there's no gun seen in the video. And there was a fight, so maybe there's something about that, but with regard to the type of weapon being used, it says there wasn't one in the video.
Well, probable causes can be articulated, right? If they're saying they saw a gun, I mean, that's still PC. I certainly, if the video shows otherwise, I think we have a problem with preponderance or very convincing or reasonable doubt, but just for PC, just one person's uncorroborated statement. That's, as far as I know, that's sufficient under statute.
We're asking it to be released to others supervision.
Right. Mr. Reed, I'm sure detectives will upload this pretty soon, correct? The video,
We've received it, yes.
all right, is it available? You have a chance to look at the video?
I have, Judge.
Your thoughts?
I think it's consistent with the report. Check, there's not a firearm visible on the video. Just from the angle and distance of what takes place there, there is a fight captured on the video. I'm not sure who the individuals are, just with only a few minutes to look at it. But just comment from the statement, he went somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, did something he wasn't supposed to do, and 3 people who were present said he possessed a firearm.
I thought it was just, I thought it was just the victim that said. Did the witness also?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, Mr. Lemire, all you wrote is that victim once said, not that the witnesses corroborate. Did the witnesses corroborate?
Yes, of course.
Okay, okay. That's a big difference there. If it was, just one person, it may be different. The fact that you have 3 people all saying that you had a gun, then I just need to raise concern about trouble. So I'm going to go and continue. Okay. Lita. Yes. All right, Lita, 45 days. You know, this all started when you were 13, right? You're 15. Like, Lita, I don't think you understand how much I want you to do well. Like, I really do. I like your parents. I'm hoping for your brother. All right, so Mr. Lockhart, we're looking for, we did the psychological, and we're looking for a placement plan, correct?
Yes, I'm filling in, Mr. Lockhart, but yes, we are.
I didn't even look up.
He has sent out a placement request to Lake Granbury, which is a secure facility, and so we're still waiting on, response back.
Sure. Okay, Lita, you're level 1 outstanding, but as of today, why did she drop or how
according to reports she brought down, the lowest she was level 1 acceptable, and that was for hair tie, putting the hair tie in, one hair tie wrong, taking too long in the shower.
Believe it's not worth it. You know it's not worth it, right? You know what tells me, Lita, is that you're actually starting to get tired of this. You're tired of Jimbo, you're tired of me, right? You're tired of seeing me, aren't you? So, all right, you know, with the escape charge, you actually ran from Grayson. So, you know, I'm not gonna release you. You're gonna go from here to secure facility, but I'm giving you the chance to do well there so that you can go back home to your parents. But the problem is, I mean, that was big. When you escape a facility, that's big, all right? That just means until you actually show me over a period of time that I can trust you, no matter how much I like you, I just can't trust you. Like, I'm afraid not to put that. Yes. Well, so I am giving you a chance, but the chance I'm giving you is watching your behavior here. I'll be honest, I'm not stressing over the hair tie or the shower. Like, I'm not stressed over that. But what it is it's over a period of time. Okay. A lot of kids escape from Grayson, from a facility. I'm just like, I'm done. We're looking at commitment. You're looking at this escape charge or some felony, which they're going to transfer over here. But I'm giving you another chance at Greenberg. That is your chance. You're going here to this place, that I'll get the reports that you're participating, that you're doing great, that you're a good example for the other kids there. And that's showing me that you deserve a chance. But for me to let you go fresh off the escape charge, you've done a lot of damage to our relationship, you know, right? For years and years. And so it doesn't go away after 45 days, right? It takes months to reestablish that trust that we have.
So how long will I be in prison?
Depends on you. If you actively engage, you participate, you're doing well, they want to get rid of you. They feel like you don't belong there, they'll let us know and discharge you successfully. If they feel like you're having problems and you're resisting and preventing other kids from getting better, they'll keep you there as long as they can until they finally say we're done.
So like you're not giving me like 6 months?
I think what's a quick 3 months I've seen, right?
The program is usually a 6 to 9 month program with the possibility to extend. I had a kid there, he got out 5 months.
Yeah.
But usually it depends on your behavior.
But Lita, you letting you go because you were 13, you weren't 14 yet, and I'm giving this chance. Like, you remember this, because I did that like 5 or 6 times. And you kept on coming in over and over, and I said, Lita, I'm only letting you go because I don't want any under 14-year-olds here. I'm trusting you. I still remember those days. Okay, now it's probably a different Lita, right? You're not the same person, but I am, right? I still remember. Okay, so that's why I'm still holding you, is because all those things in the past, and that's kind of what life is that you can do a person wrong a lot of times, and they will just turn around and forget it. You didn't do time. I haven't sent you to TJJD.
No, like, I did like months.
You were in here for months because I didn't trust you. Just like I have trouble trusting you right now, but I'm giving you the chance to rebuild that and show me. Okay. But you know one thing, Lita, I've never lied to you. You know that, right?
You never liked me.
I've never lied to you. Everything I've said, I've been straight up with you, right? And like every other kid in here, when I say something, I mean it. I can hold my word to it. And so, but I'm not going to tell you something just to make you feel better. Okay. I'm telling you that if you do well in Lake Granbury, then that's how you rebuild that relationship. I trust you. You go back on probation. You do bad there, then I have to look at other options. But I'm not going to let you out now right now, not when you still haven't taken care of your escape charge. That's still pending. Okay? All right. Thank you, Lita. Julian. I'm sorry. Oh. Well, that may be true. Yeah, that may be true. Hello, Maria. But I've never lied to her either. All right, Julian, 16 years old, never been here before. 4th PD. We're dispatched to domestic about you assaulting your mom. Mom says she tried to discipline you after you were spanking and beating your dog. So she threatened to get rid of the dog, which is Mom here?
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
That sounds appropriate. If he can't take care of his things, like his dog, then he doesn't deserve a dog, right? So, okay, so Julian called his mom the effing B. So mom followed him to confront him, turned around, elbowed mom in the stomach, causing pain. Julian said it was only a reaction. So he was arrested for argument. Mom says there's a history of domestic violence. Tell me more about that, Mom.
I've been to this already several times with my older sons, two older. sons,
Okay,
besides him. And with Julian, he came to live with me 2016, maybe 17. And since then, it's been like a constant fight with him.
sure.
It's almost like I said, he's the parent and I'm the child, because I have to watch everything that I do, say, because Julian goes off,
Okay,
disrespectfully, verbally degrades me, the worst.
good.
And I don't give everything to Julian. I don't have everything. We live with my parents, but I don't abuse my kids, not physically, not verbally. If anything, he has more than some kids have, and he's,
You know what,
I don't
Julian?
understand. I don't
You have a
understand.
parent that shows up here. That's more than a lot of kids have.
And this wasn't a spanking that he did to our dog. It wasn't a spanking.
So it's like an animal cruelty kind of thing?
Yes, because he's done that before, and he has a scar from where he beat one of our other dogs, and that one was a big dog, a pit bull, and she snapped at him, and he had to get stitches for that.
Right.
This one is a smaller dog.
So he's talking about like animal cruelty on multiple dogs?
Yes, and I did even call the officers for that.
Did they issue a ticket or anything?
No, and they looked at my dog. I mean, but there was nothing wrong with her.
Right.
And yesterday, the officer did tell me, my dog seems fine when they hold her and caress her.
Yeah.
But once they were gone, I noticed it, and I did take a picture of it. She has blood buildup behind her eye.
Right. Okay, well, Mom, at this point, more than anything else, if Julian's just disrespecting you, I'm not comfortable with him going home. Okay? So at the end of the day, the child needs to respect their parents. If they don't, then that's when the courts have to get involved. So we'll see how it is, Julian. And at the end of the day, you need to show respect for our detention officers back there, respect for your mom, respect for me. And that's how you show me that you don't need anything more serious. But if you don't, then it's gonna be a long year and a half until you're 18. Okay?
Can I say something else, Judge?
Yes.
I always tell my son, it would be different if I was like cleaning up or waking up in a bad mood altogether and just,
See,
taking
Mom,
it out of my son.
I'm gonna stop you here. And I'm gonna tell you, your expectations are too low. Okay? You're saying that his behavior could be justified in some situations. What I'm telling you.
No, like if I was
Mom,
this way.
hold on. What I'm saying is his behavior is not justified ever, right? My standards are higher than yours. I think you need to raise your standards. Don't justify what he's done saying that there may be an excuse. There is no excuse for him. I'm not even talking about the physical part. I'm just talking about the disrespect for you. If he doesn't respect you, then he doesn't need to be in your house, period.
Because his way of disrespect is not just talking back
It
or
doesn't, Mom.
little things here. It's
Mom, you
bad.
don't
It's bad.
understand. Even the talking back is a problem. Your standards are too low. Raise your standards. Expect more from your son, and he will give you more. Julian, I expect a lot from you. If you don't give that to me, you're not going to get credit for going halfway. All right. So don't sell yourself short, Mom. You deserve better. You're going to get better. If not, Julian's not coming home. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Sierra. Yes. Thank you. All right, Sierra. So, never been here before. Are y'all here for Sierra?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yesterday, you were brought in by Arlington. According to the board, the victim and you both worked at McDonald's. And they said you and another female coworker were arguing. They're going to fight. So a male coworker stepped in bear hugged you to separate you two. As you were being escorted away, you began to kick your legs out, which struck the victim in the stomach, who is 29 weeks pregnant. And so police talked to her in the hospital. She felt pain. She thought she may have lost consciousness. Wait, Ms. Alonso, she lost consciousness from a kick to the stomach?
I think she was bleeding whenever she was kicked in the stomach.
Okay.
So I want to make sure she wanted to talk about it.
Okay, so she went to the ER, wanted to pursue charges. Police talked with you at home. You admitted you knew the victim was injured, but thought it was the coworker who struck her. She said when she was grabbed from behind, she was caught by surprise and tried to get out and started kicking her feet. So you're brought here because you're reckless about your actions. Okay. So mom, dad, who wants to answer my questions? Okay, if you stand up. So first question is, y'all still together or?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then, so Ciara, 16, she's never been here before.
No,
She's got a job at 16 years old.
she got a job at, what was it, 16? Yeah, 16, she got. a
Yeah,
job.
please don't say 15.
No, 16.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And school, how does she do in school?
Great.
Great in school.
She's actually, she should be graduating early. She has more credits than she needs because she goes through a dual credit program. She takes college courses as well.
Okay, so she's already getting college credits, graduating early.
Yes.
Her peers, appropriate relationships.
Yes.
I'm guessing she doesn't have a job anymore?
Well, they suspended both girls until Saturday, but Ciara won't be going back. It's too much, bullying. And I don't feel comfortable.
Okay. You know anything about how the argument started?
It's been ongoing since February with, the other female. They used to be friends. And she got upset with Ciara because Ciara wouldn't lie for her. And from that point, she has been constantly like lying about her at the job.
Yeah.
To the point to where boys at the job are touching her inappropriately and saying inappropriate things to her.
Okay. And did she complain to management about that?
She did, but that particular manager didn't do anything and she
Okay.
left. So then Ciara changed her work schedule so that she didn't have to work with the girl anymore.
Right.
But yesterday she stayed a little bit later and,
Did she complain to the owner about this?
well, the general manager just started a week ago.
Okay.
So she told me herself that she hadn't had a chance to sit down and talk with
Okay.
Ciara.
There's
to
an
see-
owner too, because they're responsible for what happens in their restaurant, right?
Yes. but
Just for
Ciara-
future reference, if people are inappropriately touching her, that is something that shouldn't stop at just her manager, the shift manager. It should go all the way up until she gets the response that's appropriate. Ciara, if it's not appropriate, then you leave, all right? No job is worth it. No job is worth your dignity. And there's plenty of jobs out there, okay? How old is this friend?
The girl is 16 as well. She'll be 17 in August.
16 and pregnant?
Well, no, the girl that she has the issue with is not the same girl that's pregnant.
That's correct.
So how did the girl who's pregnant get involved in
She
the
was
argument?
just standing there. She's a worker too.
Oh, she just happened to be there.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was- So now she was scared and she was kicking, she accidentally.
Hence the reckless mens rea they're alleging.
Right, no, I thought it was still the reckless, but the victim was the friend, the argument was. Like, it could have been either way. So I didn't know it was a
The
bystander.
pregnant lady has nothing to do with the.
Okay, other than being there.
Being there.
All right. What street is this McDonald's on?
Sublet?
Something? All right, Sierra, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and release you to your parents, okay? I don't think you belong here. Now, I will say, I'm concerned about other things. This may seem unreasonable to you, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna say you can't return to that McDonald's on Sublet for 180 days, okay? I just wanna cool down. And also, no public social media for 180 days. So if you wanna go on, you have your DMs or your private, whatever, that's fine, I don't care. But anything that's public, I don't want you to be exposed to that. I don't want chattering back and forth. Things just escalate in a bad way. So I'm just saying 6 months cool off. I'm not gonna, yes?
I actually have the girl
Can
blocked.
you get over the mask?
I have the girl that's harassing me blocked, but she has like people that have my number that text me and harass me randomly that I have to block. And it's like, she comes back and finds a way, even though I block her and I avoid her.
Mhm.
So,
We'll just change our number. We'll just.
That's probably easier just to change the number, all right? And if it's bad enough, that's when you call the police for a harassment charge. Because you have the right to be free from that, okay? But if it continues, that's something that Ms. Alonso will tell me about. Yes?
will one of my parents be able to pick up my check on Monday? I get it.
They don't direct deposit?
No.
They still old-fashioned checks, huh?
Like your mom and dad one day.
Yes, those parents, I just want you out of there because I don't want things to escalate or people. After 6 months, everyone's gonna forget, it's gonna die down and it'll get better, okay? So I know you don't like it, but this is really me trying to just help your situation, okay? So we'll see what happens in your case, but at this point, I think you just need to go home, okay? Any questions, mom and dad?
No,
Okay, no history of running away, does she?
no,
Sneaking out?
no, she's fine.
Okay, I didn't think so. Drug use?
No.
Okay, great. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Oh, very good. Okay, so we have Peyton.
You can be the speaker.
Kathleen was supposed to be here. This is Cliff Bronson's. So they may have Cliff Bronson's in the hallway.
Let me go look for you.
All right, I'm just gonna shut down the broadcast for now. Ready?
Cliff's here, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Green.
He hasn't gone, Mr. Yet.
He is not?
He hasn't gone yet. All right, I'll talk to you.